I had fentanyl in my system.
What?
Yes, I'm not kidding. And substances that could have killed her. Lisa Rinna's night at the Abbey turned into a nightmare that's exposing a decade-long pattern of alleged druggings. But that's not the only secret coming out. Her financial struggles and $4.4 million mortgage debt are finally being revealed. January 8, 2026 started like any other glamorous Hollywood premiere party. Peacock gathered the cast of The Traitors Season 4 at the Abbey Food and Bar in West Hollywood, one of the most iconic LGBTQ+ venues in Los Angeles and a celebrity hotspot. Lisa Rinna, who'd been cast as one of the show's villainous traitors, was the star of the evening. Her husband, Harry Hamlin, was by her side. Reality TV cameras captured the festivities. Everything seemed perfect until it suddenly wasn't. According to reports that leaked to TMZ in late February, during the party, Lisa's co-star Colton Underwood noticed something was seriously wrong. Despite having spent the entire night with Lisa and knowing she hadn't consumed much alcohol, he observed that she was completely inebriated. Her behavior seemed off. Her physical state didn't match what she'd actually drunk. Colton, recognizing potential danger, immediately notified Lisa's team, who removed her from the venue. The irony of Colton being Lisa's savior wasn't lost on anyone familiar with The Traitors. The two had a famously rocky relationship throughout filming. After the show wrapped, Lisa took shots at Colton on social media, referencing his controversial past with ex-girlfriend Cassie Randolph, who was granted a temporary restraining order against him in 2020 after accusing him of attaching a tracking device to her car and harassing her via text. They'd also had a dramatic showdown at the reunion over Colton's comment about wanting to keep Lisa hostage during the show to determine if she was a traitor. But in January, before those tensions exploded publicly, Colton and Lisa had a better relationship. When he saw her in genuine distress, he didn't hesitate to help. Harry Hamlin also assisted in getting Lisa out of the Abbey safely. What they didn't know that night was just how dangerous the situation actually was. Lisa believed she'd been roofied, but the truth turned out to be far more terrifying. For weeks, the incident stayed quiet. Lisa underwent medical testing, but kept the results private while her team investigated what happened. Then, TMZ leaked the story on February 24, 2026, forcing Lisa's hand. 2 days later, on February 26th, Lisa sat down with hosts Rosanna Scotto and Jerry O'Connell on Good Day New York to promote her new memoir, You Better Believe I'm Going to Talk About It. The interview was supposed to focus on her book. Do you know what it was? I had fentanyl in my system.
What?
Yes, I'm not kidding. I had fentanyl, high levels of amphetamines, and other things, but I can't talk a lot about it because we're still dealing with it. It was leaked and my team is dealing with it now. Extreme confusion, physical collapse, losing time. Something was very wrong. Do you know for certain? Scotto pressed. Did you take a test? I did, Lisa confirmed. And then she dropped the bombshell that made national headlines. I had fentanyl in my system. The studio audience gasped. O'Connell and Scotto looked genuinely shocked. Lisa continued, her voice steady, but clearly affected by what she was revealing. I'm not kidding. I had fentanyl, high levels of amphetamines, and other things, but I can't talk a lot about it because we're still dealing with it. It was leaked, and my team is dealing with it now. Fentanyl, the synthetic opioid that's up to 50 times stronger than heroin and 100 times stronger than morphine. The drug responsible for approximately 69% of all overdose deaths in 2023, according to the CDC, a substance so lethal that even microscopic doses can be fatal. Someone had put fentanyl in Lisa Rinna's drink at a corporate-sponsored reality TV premiere party. Obviously, say who you think might have done that. I can't say, but it was at the Abbey in West Hollywood. Okay. So, the Abbey, for those who don't know, in West Hollywood is a very popular bar on Robertson. It gets very crowded. It's a big party there. They have go-go dancers there. But luckily, my husband was there and was able to get me out of there quickly. Yeah, because I saw other things like, oh, Lisa was just drunk. But no, I have to say I have partied with Lisa. We went to Andy Cohen's baby shower, which was so much fun. Lisa can handle her booze. I've been boozing with you and you really handle your booze. You have a good time. I do. But you handle your booze. We're so glad that you're okay. That's so dangerous. What do we do? Do we keep napkins on our drinks? What should we do? Well, I don't know. So many people that I know have had this happen at the Abbey. All my daughter's friends. This is not a first-time thing. This is something that's gone on for years. And I do think it needs to be a conversation, and I'm glad now that it's out and we will deal with it. I just haven't had my own time to do that yet. In January 2024, the 19th News published a massive investigative report detailing multiple alleged drugging incidents at the venue. The investigation was exhaustive and disturbing. The first victim on public record is Ivette Lopez, who recalled waking up in an ambulance after her first drink of the night was allegedly spiked at the Abbey on November 27, 2011. On April 3, 2013, Lopez sued the Abbey alongside another anonymous woman for $10 million each, claiming that during separate incidents, Abbey employees had served them drinks containing drugs for nefarious purposes. In 2014, 3 years after the incident occurred, the lawsuit was amended to include 4 other alleged victims who claimed they too had been served spiked drinks by Abbey employees. Lopez settled her suit out of court in spring 2015. In a written statement to the 19th News, the Abbey said it would not discuss the lawsuit, stating that settling a lawsuit does not necessarily indicate any wrongdoing. Then on August 3, 2021, LA comedian Haley White posted on Instagram that she'd gone to the Abbey, ordered a drink, and then blacked out completely. She woke up with a bruised face and felt like she was dying. In her post, which has since been deleted after legal pressure, Haley referenced Yelp, TripAdvisor, and Reddit comments from other patrons claiming bartenders had drugged them. She speculated the same may have happened to her. That post set off a firestorm. Over just a few days, allegations flooded social media from people who told stories of being drugged or knowing someone who had been drugged at the Abbey. According to the 19th investigation, more than 70 people interviewed over the course of 3 years reported going to the Abbey and drinking well under what they felt was their usual limit. In some cases, consuming only soda or water and experiencing disorientation to varying degrees or losing consciousness completely. In some cases, these patrons provided medical documentation of hospitalizations, photos, text messages, videos, or contacts for companions who cared for them. The horror stories dated back to as early as 2007 and 2008. Public records suggest law enforcement was aware of these allegations from as early as 2016. Yet, no significant action was taken. 2 former Abbey employees spoke to the 19th as part of their investigation. One claimed it was happening and the majority wasn't happening by the staff, suggesting customers were drugging other customers. Another former employee alleged they remember fielding calls from customers who were concerned they'd been drugged and being told by management to state that the club served strong drinks. Beyond the civil lawsuits and social media allegations, there have been actual criminal arrests connected to the Abbey. In February 2023, a man named Kent Porro, 42, was arrested and charged with sexual battery, drugging someone with intent to commit sexual assault, and attempted kidnapping following an incident at the venue. The West Hollywood Sheriff's Station held a press conference about the arrest. In October 2025, just months before Lisa's alleged drugging, an undercover narcotics operation at the Abbey resulted in 13 arrests. A bathroom attendant, busboy, and waiter were among those taken into custody on drug and theft charges. The fact that Abbey employees were arrested for drug-related crimes just 2 months before Lisa tested positive for fentanyl raises serious questions about internal security and staff vetting procedures. The Abbey was sold to new owner Tristan Shoemaker in 2024 for a reported $27 million. Shoemaker went on a public campaign to address the venue's troubled reputation, promising increased security and zero-tolerance policies. He highlighted that the Abbey provides free drink testing strips to patrons and will remake any drink on request if someone suspects tampering. The city of West Hollywood has also distributed free drink spiking test strips to nightlife establishments through a partnership with the LGBT Center's WeHo Life program. But less than 2 years after Shoemaker's promises, Lisa Rinna is putting a very famous face on what appears to be an ongoing problem. After her Good Day New York interview aired on February 26, 2026, the Abbey responded quickly with a carefully worded statement provided to Page 6 and Variety. Lisa's team shared concerns with us following her visit, and we immediately conducted a thorough internal review. The statement began, "When she became unwell, our security team assisted her and escorted her safely out of the venue. We pulled and reviewed all available surveillance footage from the time in question and interviewed staff on duty. Here's the critical part. We found no evidence of drink tampering or suspicious behavior toward her." The statement continued, "We cannot speak to medical findings and do not want to speculate about toxicology results. We take any report of a guest feeling unwell or unsafe extremely seriously and follow established investigative protocols. If any guest believes their drink has been compromised, we strongly encourage them to report it immediately either to our management team so we can respond in real time or directly to law enforcement if they prefer." It concluded, "The Abbey has extensive surveillance coverage, trained security personnel, and ongoing drink safety measures in place. Guest safety remains our highest priority." The carefully crafted statement acknowledges Lisa's concerns while definitively stating they found no evidence of tampering on their surveillance footage. This creates a he said, she said situation where Lisa has toxicology reports showing fentanyl in her system, but the Abbey claims their cameras show nothing suspicious. Legal experts who spoke to outlets pointed out that the Abbey faces serious liability exposure, regardless of what their cameras show. Under California premises liability law, venues that serve alcohol are required to maintain reasonably safe conditions for patrons. That obligation extends to foreseeable risks. Here's the problem for the Abbey. With their documented history of drugging allegations stretching back nearly a decade, they would have a very difficult time arguing in civil court that drink spiking was unforeseeable on their premises. The lawsuits, the social media allegations, the 2023 arrest, the October 2025 undercover operation that resulted in 13 arrests including employees. All of this creates a paper trail showing the Abbey knew or should have known this was an ongoing issue. Fentanyl doesn't show up in a toxicology panel because someone needs a news cycle. Lisa Rinna's account lands on top of an existing public record, not in a vacuum. The pattern is undeniable. The more serious question isn't about Lisa's credibility. It's about what the law actually requires of a venue like the Abbey and what exposure both sides are carrying right now. The West Hollywood Sheriff's Station issued their own statement saying, LASD is aware of an incident involving a local establishment in WeHo. At this time, the incident has not been reported to the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department. We urge the victim to reach out to LASD so the incident can be documented and investigated. This suggests that as of late February 2026, Lisa or her team had not yet filed an official police report. Whether that's because they're still dealing with medical and legal teams or because they're considering civil litigation instead of criminal charges remains unclear. While the fentanyl story dominated headlines, Lisa made another shocking admission during her book promotion tour that went relatively under the radar. In her memoir, You Better Believe I'm Going to Talk About It, Lisa addressed the financial pressure she felt while starring on Real Housewives of Beverly Hills for 8 seasons from 2014 to 2022. After spending my life savings to look good on air, it's probably a blessing in disguise that I left before bankruptcy, Lisa wrote. And she wasn't exaggerating. Court records dating back to 2023 reveal that Lisa and Harry Hamlin, who've owned their 5-bedroom, 4-bathroom Beverly Hills home for more than 20 years, were forced to take out multiple loans on the property after finding themselves in serious financial trouble. According to the U.S. Sun, Lisa and Harry took out their first loan on the home in August 2018 for $2,833,000. Then just 1 year later in August 2019, they took out a second loan for $617,000. The third loan taken out in April 2023, just months after Lisa left Rob, was for $930,000. That's a total of $4,380,000 in loans against the property. Here's the kicker. The home is only worth approximately $4.9 million according to real estate sites. That means Lisa and Harry have loans totaling $4.38 million against a property worth $4.9 million. They have barely $600,000 in equity left in a home they've owned for over 2 decades. All 3 loans came from City National Bank, popularly known among celebrities as the Bank of the Stars for being very accommodating to high-profile clients' financial needs. The fact that they needed to borrow nearly $1 million in April 2023, right after Lisa's Rob departure, suggests the loss of her reported $500,000 per season salary created immediate financial pressure. Lisa and Harry purchased the property and got married in its backyard on March 29, 1997. For over 25 years, this home has been featured extensively on Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, showcasing French provincial design, antique furnishings, and chandeliers in the trees. Lisa often gushed about how Harry built the house to age like fine wine, where chips and cracks would add to the effect over time. But behind the carefully curated image of old Hollywood glamour, the Hamlins were drowning in debt. Attorney Ronald Richards, who represented Tom Girardi's victims, did a deep dive on Lisa's finances in 2021 and tweeted, "We did a surface dive on Rinna. So far, same business manager, large debt on home. Wonder what else we would find, but we will leave it at that." Lisa responded to Richards' financial investigation by posting one of her infamous dancing videos on Instagram. She danced while Harry tended his garden in the background, captioning it, "Just dancing in my heavily mortgaged house with my hot husband," along with a laughing crying emoji. She owned the debt publicly with humor, but the reality behind the joke is deeply concerning. In October 2025, Lisa and Harry filmed an episode of the podcast Let's Not Talk About the Husband, where they directly addressed rumors that the couple were currently facing foreclosure or bankruptcy. Lisa laughed off the speculation, saying, "The house is in foreclosure. Don't you know that? And we're filing for bankruptcy. Did you know that?" She added sarcastically, "I don't believe we've ever been in foreclosure nor bankruptcy, but we are, just so you know, we're good." While Lisa denied currently being in foreclosure or bankruptcy as of October 2025, the court records prove it was a very real threat. When you owe $4.38 million against a property worth $4.9 million, you're one financial setback away from losing everything. And losing the Rob paycheck was exactly that kind of setback. Lisa's admission that she spent her life savings to look good on air reveals an uncomfortable truth about the Real Housewives franchise. These women are expected to maintain impossibly expensive lifestyles for the cameras. Designer clothes for every scene, luxury vacations, elaborate parties, perfect glam. It all costs money. And for many housewives, the Bravo paycheck doesn't actually cover the expenses required to appear wealthy enough for the show. Lisa reportedly made $500,000 per season during her 8-year Rob run. That's $4 million total over 8 seasons before taxes and agent fees. After taxes and representation, she probably netted around $2 to $2.5 million total. But maintaining a Beverly Hills lifestyle, paying for constant glam squads, buying designer clothes, throwing parties, and covering all the costs of appearing on the show likely ate through most of that income. Meanwhile, Lisa and Harry were taking out millions in loans against their home just to keep up. They were essentially borrowing against their only major asset to fund a lifestyle that reality TV fame demanded but didn't actually pay for. And now, after leaving the show, either by choice or by firing depending on who you ask, Lisa is left with massive debt, no Bravo income, and a home she could still lose if they can't keep up with loan payments. Andy Cohen confirmed in his book, The Daddy Diaries, that Lisa was essentially fired, writing that she had a toxic relationship with the show and that they mutually agreed she should take a break. Without the reality TV platform, Lisa has had to reinvent her income streams. She's promoting her memoir, doing press tours, making appearances, and presumably hoping book sales and speaking engagements can replace what she lost by leaving Rob. But book deals rarely generate millions of dollars, especially for reality stars without major scandals attached to their memoirs. From fentanyl poisoning to $4.4 million in mortgages, Lisa Rinna's 2026 has exposed the dark side of Hollywood glamour and reality TV fame. The price of maintaining the lifestyle nearly bankrupted her, and a night out nearly killed her. Subscribe for updates as both stories continue to unfold.